Hello, everybody. Today we're having a very short lesson about Jetpack Compose and how to start working with it. So, very simple, straight to the point. Let's go. Open Android Studio, click File, New, then New Project. When you create a new project, remember to choose the Jetpack Compose pre-build with empty activity. Just click Next and name it somehow. Just start compose, for example. Click finish and you're okay. So to start with Jetpack Compose, let's remove all the unnecessary code here, function here, this function here, and remove also the set content and start compose theme. And now we are ready to start with Jetpack Compose from scratch. So the main thing that you have to know about Jetpack Compose is that everything now is the function. Each UI component will be shown as a function. For example, we want to create a column in our application. To show something, we have to type column. It's right here. This is the function, and inside the column you have a little hint here, this column scope. So in here you can place everything that will appear inside of your column, and column itself is a function, but the main difference from the regular Kotlin function is that this function is composable. It means that it takes part in the UI drawing. And the second is that this function has a capital letter in the beginning, and the regular function like this one, for example, starts from the small letter. So you can press Control and hover the mouse and click on it, and you will see that this function is composable, and it's inline function, so it's regular function in Kotlin. So let's start from modifier. Type modifier. Okay, I'm sorry. We have to type in the constructor here in the parameters of the function. Let's type modifier. Choose this one. Sorry. Modifier. Choose this parameter. And then type the class modifier. Modifier. And then type dot and choose fill max size. So this means that this column will take all the size of our screen. We will see it some later. So if you want to add any other parameters, just place the cursor inside the parameters and press Ctrl P, and you'll see all the possible parameters which you can pass into this function. For example, I want to pass the background. Just type here and type background, and then type color, and then after color type dot, and let's make it blue. So please pay attention that this fill max size and this background are all taken from modifier class, or it's from modifier function, so itself. And the next, I want to create some elements that we're going to be working with. It will be a text. Just type the text, choose here text, and here you have to pass the text you want to see on the screen. Just type 0, for example. And then please pay attention that we are now inside of the column. And the next will be button. Just type button. Choose the button. You have onClick. We will use this onClick some later. And inside the button, I want to see the text. Please read the hint that this is a row scope. Just press Ctrl P, and you'll see also all the possible parameters you can pass here, or it's not parameters, it's lambdas. Okay, but anyways, so when you type text inside the button, that means that you are going to pass another inline function inside this composable function. I'm sorry, it's composable function. And the main rule for Android and for Jetpack Compose is that you can call all composable functions only inside other composable functions. So let's type text here and say this text will be shown inside our button. So click +1. Let's say click +1. And now we're all set. Let's check how our UI looks now. Okay, this is how our application looks now. We have a blue background, which is a column, and then we have our button and our text. So I want to change the text. If you want to change the size of the text, for example, just type comma here and type font, I guess. Yeah, it's font size, and choose maybe 30. And then in Jetpack Compose, you have to type SP. And you also have to import this one. Just press Alt plus Enter. And we are okay with the font size. And I also want to center my button right here. I want this to be in the center of my column as well as the text. To perform this action, just choose the column here and type comma. In the new line, let's check Ctrl P, and we have vertical alignment. Let's type vertical alignment. It's vertical. Okay, it's arrangement. It's let's arrange it in the center. Type comma again, and we also need to align it horizontally. It's horizontal alignment. Just type horizontal alignment and then check it once again. You have to type alignment.horizontal alignment and center horizontal. So let's check it once again if we like our UI or not. I guess it's okay. So our button is not clickable yet. So let me introduce the next very important concept of our Jetpack Compose library. It is called the state. Well, the state is just a variable which holds the state of some variable, and as you update your UI, the information inside the different parts of UI will change. So it's very simple. You have to declare a variable like val in Kotlin and type number. Since we want to use the number, let's call it in a declarative way. And then use mutable state of. So this is mutable state of, and in here we want to pass the number. Okay, but we cannot use it directly, because in that way this function will update constantly as we scroll our page or do something with it. So for this we have to use remember. It's okay, sorry. Remember, and then inside the scope of remember we have to use mutable state of, and we also have to import remember like this. And now we have our variable number, which has a type of mutable state, and it has an integer inside, and this function returns the number. Okay, what is remember? Let's press Ctrl and hover and click on it. And as you can see, remember is an inline function which takes two parameters, the calculation here and something else which returns some type. and it's a card composer, and it takes remembers the value produced by calculation. So the main thing that you have to know about remember, that it remembers the value produced by a calculation, and the calculation will only be evaluated during the composition. So it's very important for us. And recomposition will return the value produced by a composition. So this is why we use remember here. And let's check the mutable state as well. As you can see, mutable state has a value in it. It's very important. We will use it later. And it has also a policy, but it has a policy value by default here. So we can use only value here. And if we go back to our code, to our code, as you can see, we have a value here. So now I want to change the value of our mutable state by just clicking on the button. So to perform this action, just use variable here, number, but we also have to access the value of this mutable state variable. So let's type value. And I guess in Kotlin we have to use curly braces here. Let me check. Or just like this. Oh, okay. So when you click on the button, you enter into number and then take this value and change it by, and you add 1, and it's a plus operator. So as you click on the button, you want this value to appear in our text. So let's change our text here and type number also. Right here, you can clearly see that our number variable has a mutable state type, number, and then to access the value, just type dot and value. And in general, for now, we are done with our mini application. Let's check how it works again. All right. Okay, when I click on the button, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc., etc., etc. For example, I want to add something else, and I want to add another button and then decrease the value of the button. So it's very simple. Just check where our scope of our button ends, and let's create another button. And then for our onClick function, we're going to take our number and take the value of it, since it's a mutable state, and then type minus minus. And inside our button, we will have a text function, a text composable function, I'm sorry. And then type click -1. And this is it. Let's check it once again. This is our device. Click 1, and then click -1. And it all works perfectly fine. So thanks again for the lesson. We have gone through the main concept of our Jetpack Compose library in Android. It is called a composable function, and everything that you see in your UI in Android application is the composable function. And to change some values of our composable functions and make it interact with the user, we also use the mutable state. It is called this. We also use the state variables, and to get some value out of a state variable, we have to use parameter value here. So useful for you. If you like the lesson, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button, and I see you in the next lessons. So bye bye and have a great day, and take care. Bye bye.